it's another side that like wants to take more, wants to go that one more round, because like going that one more round when you don't think you can, that's what makes all the difference in your life. You know what I mean?
Welcome to another episode of One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast. I am your host, and with me today is Kyle and Katie. We're doing back-to-backs. We usually do episodes every 2 weeks, but because of Katie, you're going on another vacation. So why don't you tell the listeners where you're going?
Oh, this is just like a super quick little getaway to Puerto Vallarta with umbrella drink or probably some bubbly for me.
Sure.
And get some sun, beach, pool. Yeah.
Nice.
Need a little. It's been really cold. I need some warm weather.
Fair.
Just a quick trip, but I will be gone on Sunday.
Yes, so you won't be here for our usual bi-weekly recording. So that means if you're listening to this show and you listen to the Rambo podcast as well, that means the Rambo podcast was bumped a week. So that will be the episode following this one for my recording schedule if people are interested or follow both shows. So that's why there was a break between the Rambo. We're accommodating Katie. She is the priority, obviously.
No, but I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Kyle, how are you doing? You going on vacation, Kyle?
No, not this week, but probably in May. So I have a few months to go.
Nice.
Where are you going to go?
Well, it's a family trip. We're going East Coast. We're going to go to Halifax, and then my wife's family lives in Newfoundland. So, my father-in-law a couple of years ago passed away, COVID, and so they're going to spread his ashes there.
Oh,
but yeah, Newfoundland's really far away. For our American listeners, if you go to the most eastern point in the U.S., like Maine, Newfoundland, St. John's is 500 miles east of that. So it's really far out there. So it takes a long time to get there.
So because you're going so far away, are you going to make the most of it and stay for a bit?
Not too long. Like maybe like a week and a half or something like that.
That's a long time. You know, here's one thing I learned with my quick trips to Mexico, especially in Puerto Vallarta. That seems to be a popular Canadian spot. I meet a lot of Canadians when I go there. They're like, you're here for 3 days, 4 days? Blows their mind. They're like, we're here for 2 weeks.
That's too long for me.
Like if I go to Europe or something, it's 2 weeks because you got to get used to the time and stuff like that. But
yeah, and it's farther away. Puerto Vallarta's a 3-hour flight, so it's fine. But also, they're like, you know, us Americans in our vacation days, we have to hoard them a little bit. And Canadians, you must have a more liberal vacation policy or something, typically.
It depends. I know Europeans get a ton of time off. They get way more than us. I get 4 weeks.
That's a lot.
I get 5, I mean, but who's counting?
That's great. That's great.
That's because you're on the government teat there, right?
Yeah, that's right. I get 5 paid weeks off a year, plus lots of early days here and there, depending on the program.
Somebody gets 6 in the UK. Who said that?
Yeah,
Baz said
that's normal in Europe. Like that's not unreasonable. I think the French get even more than that.
Yeah, they might get 6 weeks in the UK, but they don't get dental plan. So, have you seen their teeth? Knock of the English teeth. Gotta do the knock of the English teeth. Okay.
Us Americans kind of do things backwards.
Sly News, not too much for Sly News off the top of my head, other than he was on a commercial for Paramount Plus. It was a nice little surprise. It was a Super Bowl ad. So at the time it's recording, the Super Bowl will be in a week. Actually, when this episode drops, it's going to be Super Bowl weekend, I believe. It's weird how Super Bowl commercials now or they're shown on YouTube week or two in advance before the actual Super Bowls run. I don't know why they do that, but hey, it gets eyes on the prize. Whatever, it's all advertisement. So Paramount Plus did a great little montage of some of their characters, Star Trek and Dora the Explorer, and part of that commercial, of course, was Sly hanging on a cliff or a rock face, like a la cliffhanger, and he's hanging on the Mount Rushmore of himself, which is kind of funny. It was like a younger version of himself carved out in stone on the mountain. What I thought was kind of neat is that he's literally the face of Paramount Plus right now. Tulsa King, is doing really well. Obviously, Sly is a big name. I like how Sly's having fun with himself, too. And then it's a silly campaign. It's meant to be silly. Of course, Seiko, her long time, what do you call him? Yeah, he's Seiko the Cynic. That's probably the best way to describe it. So, of course, he tries to say in our little chat group, isn't that a terrible commercial for Sly? Like, anything Sly does, it's got to be garbage. It's like...
No one commented on either, because I thought it was adorable.
It's just fun. Is it silly?
It up.
Yes, it is hammy, but it was meant to be hammy. It wasn't meant...
I know, that's...
Yeah.
And his daughters were in it, and because their show, the Stallone... What's the reality show going to be called?
I think it's called Stallone, or The Family Stallone, or
something
Stallone
like
Family,
that.
or something, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he really is. Like, so he's going to have 2 shows on it, and it was adorable. They were kind of poking fun at, yeah, he does this. Our dad does this.
Even my wife says she's going to watch the Stallone Family reality show with me.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I thought the commercial was perfect. It was clever, adorable. It's cute.
It's silly, and I like seeing Sly be silly just because. And good for him, 5, 6 years old, and he's the face of Paramount right now. They're using his face and celebrity by all means, and his daughters looked adorable, and it's going to only be 8 episodes, by the way, according to IMDb, the reality show or the behind the scenes. I hate the term reality show, but what I really like about this is that we actually do get the peek behind the curtain. Even Sly said that's one reason why he agreed to it. He wants people to see him as Sly, not the guy on screen. I think we're going to see he kind of wants people to see him as a father and a husband, and I'm really glad that him and Jennifer, for whatever reason, they're together, because I think they are great together.
Can you imagine? I mean, obviously anybody growing up famous has a different reality than an average person. I was trying to put myself in the shoes of one of his daughters, because he has 3 daughters and I am one of 3. Like, our family has 3 daughters too. Can you imagine if Sylvester Stallone was your father? To them, he's just dad.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be
people alive.
That's going to be sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
Yeah.
That's going to be that's going to be the draw. Is you're going to see these girls take big man Sly, tough guy Sly, and he's going to be wrapped around their finger. That's the draw. You can see from their Instagram videos that they have a lot of fun together. They'll probably treat him like a dad. It'll be fun for us as an audience to kind of see Sly being very human with his daughters. The other thing we have, it kind of ties into some Creed news, but before we talk about the Creed news, let's read the email that we got from our favorite German. I thought we'd lost him, but he's back.
Yeah, we have an email from Patrick. His emails are so well written, so they're easy to read. English is not his first language, but he still writes really eloquently. Anyway,
and it's not your first language either, so
I should maybe not read them cold, because punctuation is important to people, and so
it's my fault. Sometimes I drop them to you a little bit late. I got this one to you the day before, so did you got a chance to read it? Okay,
I did, but no. Ordinarily, I don't. I read them cold.
It's my fault.
He says. No. I'm just...
A better podcast would be more prepared than us, but yeah.
Katie, you read well.
Thanks. You lie well.
Thanks.
Hello, Ryan, Kyle, and Katie. After more than a year, I'm finally back. Not that I was missed, but still.
You were. We wondered.
Yeah, you were. Yeah. Your favorite German. Am I still after such a long time? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure, Patrick.
It's a pretty shallow pool of German listeners, so it's not hard to be number 1, Patrick.
I think we have a few German listeners, but he's definitely he's the only one that talks to us. So,
do we know any of the other ones other than just seeing user stats that like there's X amount of people in Germany that listen to us?
That's all we know is the number of German listeners. But yeah,
Patrick, you were number 2 to German listener number 4 for a while, but then now this bumps you back up to number 1.
Indeed. So he says, I just needed some Rocky podcast break as I previously listened to all the older episodes of Rocky, Rocky 2, and so on, and I didn't want to jump from Creed 2 into the first Rocky again. I hope you understand.
We forgive you.
Yeah. I just listened to episode 17 of your Rocky coverage. In the beginning, you talked about the Creed 3 trailer and Creed 3 in general. I'd like to join in on that discussion. First, I'd like to thank you. Thank you for talking so reasonably and without hate about Creed 3.
I think we have been reasonable. I think all of our criticism regarding Michael B. throughout Creed 1 and 2 discussions that we did on Going the Distance, we were clear about what our criticisms were, but we were fair to Michael B. when he did better throughout Creed 2 than he did in Creed 1. So we're not fanboys or anti-Creed. I think we're pretty reasonable.
Rationally minded people are it's a good quality. He says, as you might remember, Ryan, I sent you a personal message on Instagram where I mentioned the toxic atmosphere on the Stallone Zone Forum. Sly himself posted there from time to time last year, sharing background information on the Winkler situation.
There is a message board group, and you can Google it. I'm a part of it. You can see my name. Unlike some people in that group, I use my actual name because I don't need to hide behind my comments or what have you. I don't comment very often. You know how some people are, right? They're very brave when they're anonymous. I don't go there very often, but usually I go there when I hear a bit of drama, and here we go. So,
as one member posted a YouTube video from John Campea, a movie news host, where Campea, without knowing the background stuff, didn't understand why Sly was so angry at Winkler. Sly was ticked off and he left the zone.
So some guy who doesn't know the background drama, and I love Sly, but this is a little ridiculous. So Sly would frequent the Stallone Zone Forum. He would actually frequent it and comment and have like little surprise visits. And it was him. So you're saying, or Patrick's saying, that some guy, unbeknownst to the whole background, why would he know? So if you're not a Stallone nut, why would you know about Stallone's feelings on every matter regarding? So he posts some arbitrary thing. Stallone didn't like it and left the Stallone Zone Forum group. Interesting. Okay. I just want to be sure everyone's following this so far. Okay.
I like your additional color. After that, a forum leader, let's call him something.
We're being anonymous. He gave us the initials in the email. We're not going to give the initials because people will know right away who they're talking about. So we're just going to leave it at there's somebody in the Stallone Zone who will keep anonymous. We'll call them
Bob.
Yeah, we'll call him Bob. That's fair. Bob.
Bob literally took over the forum, insulting people for driving Sly away, insulting people if they still had any interest in Creed 3, as they would be backstabbing Sly, who said that he didn't have anything to do with Creed 3 and wished he hadn't done Creed and Creed 2. Threads were deleted. Fine members were banned. It was and still is toxic over there. The thinking of most forum members is if you are interested in Creed 3 and even support it by watching it at the cinema, you are disrespectful towards Sly. And if you are against Sly, you are against me, that forum leader. At the very least, Bob wrote it that way.
Bob's starting a cult or something? The Sly cult? Are we going to have to start paying him and shit?
People at our Discord, because this is all going to be private, you guys can go ahead and make your guesses in Discord. I'll allow that. Bob is not a member of this Discord, so go ahead and knock your socks off. So
someone's typing.
Yeah, someone's typing. Someone's got. Baz got it. Okay, so here's my response. So Patrick, thank you for sharing that because, like I said, I don't visit the Stallone Zone Forum very often. I usually only go there. I think the last time I went there was when I heard that Sly was posting in there, so I went back there to read Sly's post. I was very interested. I did read all the things he said about Winkler. He did some Q&A. Like you said, Katie, in the email, and I apologize for interrupting, but this is why I wanted to make this clear. So Stallone leaves the forum, and then Bob comes in and says, "You bunch of idiots," insulting, whatever. Like, Patrick's a very even-keeled guy. So Patrick's saying that there was insults thrown. There was probably insults thrown. And those comments have been deleted, by the way. I went back and looked at Bob's threads, and a lot of the insults that were thrown and what have you have been deleted, have been cleaned up. Bob comes in and says, "You guys drove Sly away." Big one for me, though, not even that, is saying if you watch Creed 3 in the theaters, you're stabbing Sly in the back. I want to comment. This is me using my freedom of speech and my platform to say I don't think that's stabbing Sly in the back. Now, I know, Katie, you're a huge Sly fan. Your intention is actually to see Creed 3, like I mentioned in our previous episode, with your friend in the theater. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're going to seek it out, but your friend wants to watch in the theater, so I'll go with you. Do you feel like you're stabbing Sly in the back?
Not at all. I do love Sly, and I will come to his rescue when someone attacks him more personally. I don't think this is a personal attack. It's, in fact, despite him not having anything to do with it, there's a level of curiosity there, but it is an extension of a world that he created. I do come to his defense, not that he needs it, but I do get sick of people assuming that he's dumb or that he's not a good actor. I'll be like, no, he is, and here's why. But it's not a personal attack. It's a piece of art that is an extension of what he created. I love the Rocky world.
I think this is ridiculous.
The gatekeeping in the forum? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, though, if you do this, you're supporting him. It's like, what a first world problem.
Right?
Oh, this is your ethical injustice that you're standing up to. Of all the crazy shit that happens in this world, this is what you're going to focus on. I don't care if Irwin Winkler makes money or Sly makes money. I do feel bad for Sly in the situation with Irwin Winkler. I'm not saying that Sly doesn't have a legitimate complaint. I'd be upset if I were in his shoes too. But to go on a forum and insult people and say that, oh, if you're supporting so-and-so, you're stabbing Sly in the back, and I think it's silliness. It doesn't really affect Sly. You go see Creed 3 I find it really petty, and I really don't like it when people almost kind of, for lack of a better word, worship other people like that. Mm-hmm. Like, you could be a big Sly fan, and that's fine. But I find this in sports, too, or in music. Someone will be really into their band, or really into their sports team, or really into their favorite actor, something like that, and then they take personally anything that happens in this other person's life. Get a fucking life. Like, it's right? So ridiculous.
Our podcast is, we are fans, of course, of Rocky, of me, of Rambo, and Sly films, and he is my screen hero. I've always said I was a child, teenager, I worshipped at the idol of Sly's films, absolutely. Obviously, him as a person, there's things he's done in his life that I'm not crazy about, and things that he's done in his life that I am crazy about. Just like me, if there's things in my life I'm crazy about, there's things in my life I'm not crazy about, and I should be my biggest fan, right? And I think we've always been very clear about our fandom regarding Sly. Sly said himself he wished that every Stop or My Mom Will Shoot film, I think, or one of those films was burnt and nobody had ever watched them. So if you watch those films, you're stabbing him in the back because you wish he never did it.
Good point.
So there's a lot of films that a lot of actors wish they never did. That's old Sly saying. Like, he wish he never did the... Okay, fine. Whatever his reasons are, fine. That's fine. But guess what, Sly? I like the films. Now, I'm sorry you didn't like them. I actually don't care. I actually don't care if you like them or not. I actually enjoyed Creed 1 and 2. Ironically, Sly was the least of the problems in the films. So he should pat himself on the back for professionally coming to front of the camera, knocking it out of the park. Despite his feelings, he was a professional. He did the job, knocked it out of the park. He's not doing Creed 3, and he's not helping out with it. Again, I support him in the sense, yeah, that's your choice. It's art, man. Like, if you don't want to be a help in the film or help with the editing, apparently if that's true that Michael asked you to help out with some tweaking and you said no thank you, I don't blame you, but that's still not going to stop me from seeing the film. I have to. If Creed 10 comes out, I'm going to have to see it just because this thing keeps going, right? Sometimes you get into this train of films, you don't know, why do I keep watching this? I don't know, but you just keep watching. So
yeah, and that's why they get made. That big problem in Hollywood,
Avatar,
is that they're going to keep churning out these sequels because you feel a sense of obligation to go watch them. But I officially quit Star Wars a while ago.
Let's say I was a big Star Wars geek, so now I'm going to gatekeep your fandom. Yeah. Like, that's your fandom. Yeah. That's your journey. Okay, so I don't know why people have to gate. I'll say this as my last thing: gatekeepers in general, and I don't think it's very nice. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's nice to tell people how to feel. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like, you will like this slice of pizza. Well, I don't like the pizza. No, I like it. If you don't eat this pizza, you're going to insult the chef. No, I just don't like it. Or I do like whatever. Why are we telling people how to feel about something and you're saying this is a personal attack on a celebrity because you're watching a movie? No. Maybe Patrick misread things, so by all means, if Bob or anyone else from the Bob camp wants to reach out to us and just say what it is they did say and clarify the situation, that'd be great too, because right now we only have Patrick's side of the story. But I don't think Patrick would lie. He might be misinformed or maybe misread things. But if he felt there was toxicity on that forum run by somebody, that's what he felt and saw. But I'd be curious to hear the rebuttal if we hear one.
I think you were probably going down the path of the news about Creed 3 that Michael B. Jordan announced that there for sure is going to be a Creed 4.
That was big news. I posted that in the group, in our Facebook group, and I didn't post my feelings. I just posted the article, and it was interesting to see, of course, people were like, this is stupid, Creed 3 hasn't even come out yet, and some people were like, hey, that's great. And again, I didn't comment on anyone's opinions. I want people to, especially in our Facebook group, to share their opinions as long as no one's attacking anyone else. Disagreeing opinions is great. The discourse should be allowed to happen. I want to hear different opinions and different reasons why. And people were respectful. Nobody attacked anybody in the group regarding their different opinions. Here's my guess. Creed 3 is probably a good film. It's probably well made. It's probably well executed. Does it break new ground? Unlikely. Like Top Gun Maverick didn't break new ground as far as storytelling went, but it was a fun film. And it was an amazing, not special effects, but the jet flying. But it was just Top Gun done better. Okay, so Creed 3 will probably be in that vein of more family drama, the Creeds and their daughter drama. Who knows what kind of drama outside the ring will be. And then he fights in the ring and goes against the odds and overcomes them or doesn't. Or who knows, maybe Creed 4 is his redemption story. Maybe he loses the belt in Creed 3. That's why there's a Creed 4. Who knows?
Whether I watch Creed 4 will depend on Creed 3. If I feel like I have to endure Creed 3, then...
This is coming from me. Yeah. And I've been the hardest on Michael B. I suspect the film will be fine. I can't imagine it's going to suck. It's not going to suck.
Jonathan Majors is coming.
I saw the trailer for Creed 3, and I'm like, yeah, I'd watch that.
Yeah.
It looks good.
I haven't seen the trailer yet. I'm going in cold, but I suspect it'll be a fun film. Yeah.
It'll be good. And I mean, maybe they just do that. They have ways of estimating earnings and whatnot, probably. And so that's why they've already... Yeah, that's why they've already...
Or the company's seen the final cut and they're very happy with it, which is a good sign.
Yeah, could be. So the age thing is going to come into play. It's just going to be like Rocky. He's going to now be like a 40-year-old fighting, in Creed 4. Anyway, regardless, I do think Creed 3 will be good. It's this world, and I love the world, so I want to keep watching.
Donald brought up a great point. He said this, and Donald's, I always say Donald should run the podcast. Donald said, if Creed does well, hypothetically, maybe Sly comes back for Creed 4.
Yeah.
Maybe Sly gets his Rocky 7 or spin-off, etc. If Creed dies, like the franchise dies, Rocky dies. So how does that help anyone? So
exactly.
He's speaking maybe against the gatekeepers. We said this. We've actually said, so I think Donald's repeating what we've said, but in a much better way. We've said that we want Creed 3 to do well too, because it's part of the Rocky. Why? I don't want it to fail. So Gatekeeper right. Bob, that's my response to you is, why would you want this? Don't tell Rocky fans not to see this, because people will go see Creed 3 and what will they do? Oh, I want to watch the other Creed films. Or you want it to do well because it's connected to the character in general. If Creed 3 is a garbage show, do you want that to be the last note on this universe?
Right. That's a good point. Additionally, there was, in that same article that you posted about that Creed 4 is greenlit, that's the only for sure thing. There's still talk about other spinoffs or prequels or sequels or whatever. And so I personally would love to see the Dragos spinoff.
Yeah.
And, prequels, I'm anybody who's going to play Rocky, I don't know. I don't know if I like that, but
sure, that might be a tougher pill to swallow.
Katie, sorry, when you said the Dragos, I immediately thought of like some sitcom where it's like, meet the Dragos.
Wouldn't that be funny? Actually, that'd be hilarious if it was.
Like a 90s show type Drago version.
Yeah.
To speak to Kyle's point, Kyle said exactly what I'm afraid of. He just said, I've stopped watching the Star Wars films because they've butchered them or they wrecked the universe. So that's exactly what I mean, is we want Creed 3 to be a good film because we don't want Kyle's. Well, we don't want people to be upset with the fandom. So we want it to do well.
What I found was it's just some degree, it's just regurgitating the same old shit. And really relying on the nostalgia of, like, when I watch a sequel like this, I try to say to myself, barring relying on past knowledge, if I had to see this film independently, not knowing the previous films existed, if it was wiped from my memory, would I actually enjoy this film? Or am I just reliving the nostalgia of the original Star Wars or whatever it was? And I just found that it's like, I just keep going to these movies. Oh, it's the same old crap. I'm like, I'm done. Oh, it's not like that. The next one's going to be better. And I'm just like, nope, I'm finished.
Yeah, the Rocky universe from Rocky, the first Rocky film to Creed 2, it's an amazing journey of quality films, either for fun, even Rocky 5.
Well, I was thinking of Rocky 5 yesterday. I was thinking of it, and I'm like, it is slowly climbing up the ranks of my favorite Rocky movies.
It's a good family drama.
Rocky 5 is like one of those cheeses that if you're not used to eating it, it's disgusting, but if you have that refined palate, it actually...
I like that.
Cheese with, like, the maggots in it or whatever. It's like if you're used to eating like Kraft cheese slices or something. Sure. Maybe that's not the best analogy.
No, it's fair.
It's a good one, like, because Rocky 4 would be the American single,
American cheddar. Yeah. Okay, so poor Patrick. We'll finish his email here.
Yeah. Okay, so. Good discussion email, though. Thank you, Patrick. So he goes on to say, I tried to separate life from art, and although I hate what they did to Sly, I'm still interested in Creed 3. I think he means I still stay on that forum.
Yeah.
I'm one of the very few left doing so. So listening to you three guys talk about Creed 3 in such a calm and relaxed way made my day. I'm very much looking forward to the next episodes. Cheers, Patrick.
Thanks, Patrick. Still our favorite German.
I really enjoyed interacting with Patrick on previous...
Yeah, he came in for a call-in on one of our finales. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome stuff. Well, without further ado, let's roll into the next sequence of the film here of Rocky 2.
Oh, are we going to skip trivia today?
No, we're not. I reminded you before we started that I actually remembered myself, and then I forgot. I see every recording. Okay, here we go. Number 31. What teams were playing in the football game that was on when Rocky turned on the TV, and what was the score?
Oh my God. Okay.
What was the score is a little bit much.
Rocco, come on now.
You can ask the teams, but come on, man. If anyone gets the teams, I think that's good enough.
Okay. I think
I put two teams down, but I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. But anyway.
Imagine if it's the same two teams that are in the Super Bowl this week.
I know it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I got to put.
I don't even know what scores could be in football. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know that much at least. At least. Okay.
It's like 3-1. What?
Well, that's possible. You could have a field goal and a safety or something like that. Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's just it'd be unusual for that.
Of course. 3-1.
Yeah.
All right, Rocco. That one coming in hot with that one. Sorry, what round did Rocky tell Mickey that Apollo broke his nose?
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair one.
Yeah. Basically, in what round did Rocky
break his nose? Okay, well, I know the first one was
because he says
it's
sitting down. So, like, what was the previous round, basically?
Okay. Yeah. What is the name of the company that wants to produce the Rocky doll?
Oh, okay. That's burned in my mind.
Oh, God, we just covered it too, and it's like,
you know what? I might be 0 for 3 so far. This is a bad.
I could hear that guy's voice in my head saying.
I can too.
In his accent.
I think I'll think of it.
What did Rocky say after Adrian said, "You read nice"? There you go. Finally.
I will get that one for sure.
Since we role played that earlier in the episode.
And it's like my go-to. I say it. Yeah, we do.
And I think we'll get this one too. Who said you'll go blind? All right, here we go. So Adrian and Rocky had their talk in the basement. He's had his supper that Adrian made him. After supper, Rocky goes for a walk. Another classic shot of the train. Yeah.
Go to Philly, I want to ride that train. Just over that area. I'll probably get beat up or something.
I know you guys don't like the jacket, but it fits him so well. I love the jacket.
You like the jacket?
I just don't like the tiger on the back of it. The actual jacket itself is fine.
It's unique too. It's not like a regular button. It's got a unique fit to it. And Butkus in his Eagles jersey.
Go Eagles! The Super Bowl. There you go.
Cheering for the Eagles. I'm not into NFL at all, but I'm going to cheer for the Eagles just because I have a soft spot for Philly.
Yeah. Thanks to Rocky.
Sorry, are they playing San Francisco?
The Chiefs.
Oh, Kansas City.
Right? I think, right, yeah. And he's got
I don't follow any of this, but
I actually do kind of like Kansas City. Their adorable, cute little quarterback is like a nice human, and everyone loves him.
Oh, okay.
I usually cheer for a team if I have a soft spot for the place they're from.
In that, I usually cheer for the team that hasn't won a championship that's in the final.
Oh, sure.
But both have, but Philly's been longer than Kansas, so that's why I'm also going for Philly, because it's been a longer time since their chance. So that's kind of how I do it. They've both have won a championship. Who's been longer? Spread the wealth. Okay. So so Rocky's walking with Butkus to visit Mickey at the gym, and there's the competing pet shop across the street. We often forget there's that competing
Crazy Town.
Can't read the name. Somebody's pet shop.
Pet something. It's like this is the pet shop district in Philly. I think is what I'll call it. Takes the key out of his hat.
You know what? I've never noticed that before. All these years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like a Mandela effect? I've never seen him take the key out of his hat to open the door. Did you guys always catch that?
I don't know if I have either. No, I never it didn't register in my brain that that's what was happening.
It's a nice little callback to the first film where he gets his locker combination out of his hat. Hat is a storage device somehow.
Now, did you guys ever notice? I know we're gonna I don't want to comment on every little thing, but
how dare we on a Rocky podcast?
He doesn't. Has anybody noticed that he doesn't actually have a leash for Butkus? It's a rope.
Because he's badass, man.
Yeah.
Ah, that's funny. You think when he went to the pet shop and bought a bunch of stuff, he could have got a leash, but
yeah, he got the studded collar, but yeah.
Who needs a leash when you have a rope?
I love that with Mickey. Who the hell is that? What time do you think it is, though?
It's dark.
He's just a little jumpy. And Rocky's got a key, so it's just interesting how maybe Rocky doesn't do nighttime visits. Though I love when Mickey's got his pipe. He's ready to lay some, that's a good scare tactic.
It's not improbable that someone would break into his place.
Good point. It is not this is not, it is a bit of a rough neighborhood.
Avon lady. What's that, Rocky? Hey! I don't remember giving you no key. Come on.
Even though we hear him say, I don't remember giving you no key, I never saw him do it. My brain never saw the action happen. Yeah. So he actually acknowledges to I don't remember giving you no key. And I also love how he says Avon lady. It looks like your face there, Katie. Have you ever caught the Avon lady comment?
I have,
Okay.
but it's just so... I mean, the Avon has been around for a long time, but this was probably prime Avon lady, late 70s, maybe, into the 80s. And it's just cute.
Yeah, the prodigal son returns. Come up here. I love that, the prodigal son.
Up here, what a prodigal son returns.
Returns.
What's so bad, do you, kid? What's that outer space monster you brought with you?
That Buck is my largest dog. What's that in your ear there?
What is it? I hear stupid things better.
Love that.
A lot of fun little banter here between Trainer and Rocky. Mickey's saying, what space creature you got there? The big dog. And then Rocky says, well, what do you got in your ear there? And I love that answer. I hear stupid things better, which is so true. The majority of the stuff we hear in life is just, I don't need to listen to this. Our podcast, for example, he hears our podcast better. Or stupid.
Yeah.
Again, Sly's writing. Now, I don't know if Burgess Meredith improvised that, but I assume a lot of this banter is Sly's writing. So I love that banter. And so now Mickey's like, okay, great. Now that the small talk is over, did you just come here to show me that dog?
He doesn't give a shit about the dog or the turtles because he wanted to make soup out of them.
Yeah.
Like, Mickey doesn't care.
Yeah, he's anti-pet. I have a brother. Well, Ruben.
Yeah,
Sorry, I have a brother,
he is?
Ruben. Ruben's anti-pet.
Oh.
Yeah.
I find it strange. I'm a little suspect of anti-pet people.
He's funny about that. He is a little funny. I love him. I'm telling you now, Ruben does not listen to the show, but I'm not saying anything bad about him. But yeah, he's not anti-animal. Like he's an animal lover. He's got nothing but love and respect for the animal kingdom. However, he's just not an animal owner. Yeah.
That Buck is my largest dog. What's that in your ear there?
What is it? I hear stupid things better. Well, now, did you come here to show me that dog?
No. But can I have my locker back?
Yeah, what's on your mind?
Fight.
Fight? What? You want to go
Oh, wait a
blind?
minute. You want to go blind? Is there two answers to this question? He says, do you want to go blind? But someone else specifically says, you'll go blind. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see what Rocco, I don't like this Rocco. Rocco, I don't like you anymore. These last 5 questions are the worst we've ever
It's very specific. There's 2 ways of saying it. Mickey says it different than the person I put down.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too. I'm just saying now that we're, nobody's going blind. Because I think Rocky said the exact same thing to this other individual. Nobody's going blind. Okay.
Also, this is another important conversation on the stairs.
Yes, another stairs. You did mention, I just recently edited, of course, the previous episode. You did mention, I sort of stepped on you as I usually do. You mentioned stairs on the previous episode. Yes, Adrian was sitting on the stairs, talking to Rocky on the stairs with her position of power above Rocky, right? And now we got Mickey above the Rocky character. The same idea of looking down up. Is it done on purpose?
It has to be because it's one of the things that at least stands out to me, like the most consistent thing in all of the movies is that stairs and trains.
Yeah. And Rocky says nobody's going blind. So he's asked for his locker back. Mickey's like, why do you want your locker back? Like
He says, yeah. He says, yeah.
What's on your mind?
You'll get your locker back.
But why?
What's on your mind? Rocky's going to be a dipper to someone.
Mm-hmm.
But he went toe-to-toe with the champ less than a year ago. So Rocky gets a locker.
Yeah, exactly.
But that being said, Mickey's like, okay, you want your locker? Maybe just think he wants to train and spar or, light stuff at the gym. That's fair. Okay, you want your locker? What's on your mind? Why are you coming back to the gym? And he goes, well, I want to fight. Yeah, you want to go blind.
Nobody's going blind. You heard what I said?
Yeah, the eye's great. No problem.
Now listen, every pug thinks he has one good one left. Now forget it, because your fighting career is over, kid.
Every pug, which is short for pugilist, which is boxer, I love that. Pug thinks they have one good one left. And that goes for every athlete. Look at Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah.
There's 2 schools of thought. I get why people leave on top. Wayne Gretzky was sort of like that. He probably had a few more years left in him where he could play decent hockey, but he kind of, once he stopped kind of being Wayne Gretzky-ish, he kind of, I'm retiring. He's still a great player, but he wasn't a old man disaster.
He was getting arthritis, too. But you're right. Like, if he did more seasons, he could have survived.
Right.
But he wouldn't have thrived, for sure.
It would have been for the payday, and that's why people do it. It's hard to turn down that money.
It's great money.
I'm sure. I'd like to think that I would be a Wayne Gretzky. I would choose to go out on top, that would be my legacy.
Some people like the action, too, though. Like,
think
some
Tom
people
liked
like
it, yeah.
being in the action. They like being on top. They love the thrill of... Not a super competitive person. I know people who are... And they just have to. It's like a compulsion. they have to compete in all things. That's probably what makes them a good athlete in the first place, or one of the things. When you leave that competitive realm, you probably feel empty to a degree too.
Sure.
Then this is basically what Rocky's saying. He needs to be around it. Was it Michael Jordan that like went and played baseball?
He took a break, played baseball, came back. I think he played with the Bulls again after the baseball, but then he kind of had a middling time at the Wizards. People forget his time at the Wizards. See, that's what I mean. Don't have a season with the Wizards. Don't be a Michael Jordan.
With Rocky, and I think he kind of explains it here, is that the just started. He just found something he's good at, and now it's like, oh, it's over. Sorry.
Right here.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
You know, I spent my whole life getting a career. I get one, and you told me it's over.
What's the matter? You shook the hell out of the champion of the whole wide world. You'd be happy with that.
I like Mickey's response, because Rocky's saying, I've spent my whole career. I finally get one. Now you're telling me it's over. But then Mickey's like, yeah, but you rattled the champion of the world, the best boxer who's ever lived in the Rocky universe. Paul's the best boxer who's ever lived. You rattled his cage, man. You went toe-to-toe with this guy. That's as good as it's going to get. Look, let's be honest. You might have spent your whole career, but then you did you're the only one who's ever done this. You got to be happy with that.
You reached kind of the ultimate. And Rocky, maybe we can do better this time, or maybe not.
Obviously, you couldn't do this in the film, but just pretending this isn't a film. Rocky has a ton of publicity still. He's a big name. If I were him, I would try and get a fight with another top-tier fighter, but not necessarily Apollo. Just a couple tune-up fights to make some money, because Cesaro, you're not going to get your face caved in the same way, because Apollo's such a high-caliber fighter. You get a couple high-level professional wins under your belt, and then you see if you can fight Apollo. And you probably get some decent paydays there.
It's true, but Apollo wants it, but he's the one coming after him.
I spent my whole life getting a career. I get one, and you told me it's over.
What's the matter? You shook the hell out of the champion of the whole wide world. You'd be happy with that.
Well, maybe we can do better this time.
Well, worse. What about that?
Hey, yo, Mick. I done you a favor last time, you know. Can you do me one this time?
I think that last statement stung Mickey, because Rocky it's a bit of a dick. He's saying, I did you a favor. You got to be by the ringside during that very fight you're talking about. Come on. You get to still be a trainer. Do your job, and I'm asking for help here. I gave you a big break. You got to be my manager during the biggest fight of your life. I think he's saying that here.
Mickey came to his house earlier, kind of hat in hand, and now Rocky's doing the same thing. And he's like, hey, look, I didn't want you to be my trainer, but I said yes. You might not want me to fight, but, do me a solid this time. Like, let me do it. Like,
you know what would have been funny if Mickey threw the same speech? He goes, this place stinks. This whole place stinks.
Also, there's no reason Rocky technically couldn't have taken the fight anyway. He doesn't need to have... he should have Mickey there. That'd be ideal. But, he could always fight without Mickey.
Louis says, I think it has to be Apollo. Responding to your comment there, Kyle, because he says that no one else would benefit from fighting Rocky. And Rocky should only risk his health against Apollo and the money that the fight commands.
This is what I was saying about Rocky having the publicity. Rocky's such a big name that I think anyone would want to see him fight again. Obviously, people would want to see him fight Apollo, most of all. I think he can capitalize off the name and get another fight if he wanted to. Especially if there's some guy who's up and coming and wanted his name to be known. People are interested in Rocky because he came out of nowhere, right? So if there was another Rocky fight, it would kind of be like the sequels we were talking about earlier in our discussion. When a sequel comes in, even if it's not as good, people will watch it just because of what happened previously.
Fair.
Yeah, they need a Duke, a Don King type to see
George Washington Duke.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm saying is this is a teaser fight.
Yeah.
It'd be a teaser fight leading up to Apollo. Of course, it wouldn't be the thing everyone wants, though.
Fair.
I don't know. You don't understand me. Now, look, I want to show you something now. Test you. Now, look, you look right there at the end of my nose.
Okay.
Yeah? I want to test you.
Watch Sly's acting here is so great. How he's so excited, like a little kid. I saw it. I saw it. He's so excited. I passed your test. Yeah, Rocky, that's your good eye, you beagle. Okay, but he's so excited that he passes Mickey's test, and then I love Mickey's response where he goes, "Try the other lamp." I love he calls the eye a lamp. Let's try the other lamp.
Mickey has Mickeyisms. I love that they're written so specifically.
The other lamp. Watch Sly's acting when he's so excited about seeing.
You say lamp?
Yeah, he says lamp.
Yeah, the other lamp. Yeah.
I think he says lamb. I thought it was the other lamb.
Lamp.
With a B.
No, lamp as an eye, a light.
Eye, like, yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense. I thought it was just a pet name.
It does, doesn't it, Kyle?
You don't understand me. Now, look, I want to show you something now. Test you. Now, look, you look right there at the end of my nose.
Okay.
I want to test you.
Look at your nose.
You look at my nose. Now, when I bring my finger in, you tell me when you see it, will you?
There's the little thing, I see it.
That's good.
I told you, it's okay.
Now, wait. Now, we tried the other lamp. Now, look here, will you? Now, tell me.
I see it.
Now, you see nothing.
Again, the very subtle there, how Rocky's like, I see it. He says it very quickly because he's trying to like make up time for how long. Even he kind of knows how long it might have taken. So he kind of announces, I see it really quickly. Like, no, it's too late.
You know when Creed in the Creed film, Creed's eye is swollen completely shut, and they cover his good eye. And how many fingers am I holding up? And Sly's tapping the back of his neck.
It's not Sly.
It's the trainer.
The trainer. Sorry,
what was his
whoever
name?
was tapping the back of his neck.
Yeah, we talked about that. We thought it was Sly, but it was actually the cut man or somebody. Stitch.
Yeah.
And I don't think Rocky liked that. Or did he catch it? I can't remember now. Oh boy. Anyway,
at any rate. I smarted and like, yeah, I see it. Did you just be able to time it, right? It's like,
you
just say
should have.
He
should have, but he can't lie to Mickey. I think Mickey would know.
Also, my argument here, if I'm Rocky, is to be like, look, Mick, let's be real here. I don't dodge punches. I don't block punches anyway. He's gonna cave in the side of my face if my eye works or not. So why can't he just? Why can't we just do what we keep doing?
That is valid. I'm glad that you pointed out, Ryan, that we should pay attention to Rocky's nonverbal acting here, too. When he goes to the other side, he's confident when he does the left eye. But then Rocky's face shows his nervousness because he knows he can't see.
Oh, we're doing both eyes? I thought we were just doing my good side. Okay.
Yeah, he knows his eye's screwed up because he talks about how he keeps hitting the trash cans because of his bad eye.
Such great acting by Burgess.
And then what Mickey says next is,
it's
oh my
heartbreaking.
gosh. Yeah.
Now, look here, will you? Now, tell me.
I see it.
Now, you see nothing. Creed would have caved in the whole side of your face. Now, forget it, kid. You got the heart, but you ain't got the tools no more. Now, forget it.
Is that right?
That is right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's you who ain't got it no more, you know that?
Obviously, this stings Rocky because he's like, you're telling me it's just over. And he trusts Mickey. That's the thing. Like, it's not Mickey blowing smoke up his butt. Mickey is a straight shooter. When Mickey says you're doing great, you're going to crap lightning, eat thunder, whatever, he believes it. Rocky believes that. Those mantras. He believes his trainer. Now the same guy's saying, you don't have it anymore. You've got the heart. It's great. You got a heart like a fighter, but your body's broken. It's not the same anymore. And that stings Rocky. Negative comments or criticisms hurt more when they're true. It's like, oh, that's...
Yeah.
Let's remember Rocky's date with Adrian when he doesn't have much of a brain, so he better develop his body. Well, what happens now when your body doesn't work the way it should?
And he doesn't have a job.
What do you have left? What do you have to fall back on?
Kind of throws it at Mickey, and Mickey's like, he understands, but he's about to demonstrate, something.
No more. Now, forget it.
Is that right?
That is right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's you who ain't got it no more, you know that? Huh?
Yeah. Now, look. You didn't even see that coming, did you? No. Well, that was from a broken-down pug like me. What do you think the champ would do to you?
Hurt me bad.
No, he'd hurt you permanent.
Permanent.
Shout out to Bill for the perfect musical cue moment because, Rocky's just been slapped in the face, but there's the broken, horn of the broken soul. Rocky's world has just come crashing down when this literally slapped the nonsense out of him. Look, man, the champ would cave in your face and hurt you permanent. Such a great voice work. And Rocky realizes it.
Mick, if I can't fight no more, maybe I can help out around here,
Yeah? Well, Sure, but, you're like royalty here, kid. You want those guys to see you carrying towels and buckets around. Where's your dignity?
I'm not serious, just... I gotta be around it. Just...
All right, kid. We come back tomorrow, huh?
Thanks, Rick.
I'm like literally crying. So touching. He's choking back tears. Sylvester Stallone he's so good. It really does bother me when people knock him for not being a good actor.
This podcast isn't for those people, so.
Yeah, it's not.
Nothing pisses me off more whenever you mention Rocky and they're like, oh, Yo Adrian.
Yes, that's the whole film. Him just running around for an hour and a half yelling, Yo Adrian.
Yeah. But the Mickey, I mean, it's, I can't even describe my feelings about that scene. It's powerful, yeah.
So this is rock bottom. I think him walking down those stairs, I guess the only compromise he can reach. He's around the industry. He's not in the ring. He's not making much money, but something. It's a job. But we talked about the mental health. Remember, Kyle, we talked about his job. If your mental health, mine too in the last episode, there's a fine line between how much can you take in this business or to this job, even if it's about the money. So Rocky's willing to take, make less money, obviously, working with Mickey, probably pennies to the dollar compared to the meat plant, but he's happier. He's around the industry.
You think he's getting paid?
I think he's being employed, yes.
He probably gets minimum wage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is probably, I think it's $2.50 an hour or something like that. Nothing. Property taxes are $1,500. That's 3,000 hours. No, did I get that right? No, I didn't. Sorry.
But why doesn't
property taxes are $1,500? How many? It's like 500 hours.
It's a lot.
Of your work.
Are you asking me to do math in my head?
Yeah.
It's like a quarter of your working full time. Right? Full time is 2,090 hours a year, roughly. If you're making $3 an hour, say, and your taxes are $1,500 a year, it take you 500 hours, which is roughly a quarter of all you're working just to pay your property taxes in your house. Not mortgage, not food, nothing.
Crazy.
So even with the pet shop money there, they're going to be living hand to mouth, to say the least.
Okay, so we're going to stop it there because this next scene, of course, is a big scene. We don't want to rush through it. It's a beautiful ending to that sequence, but that is rock bottom there. Because even in the next, other than, of course, the coma in Rocky's life, but I think as far as the character in his boxing career, he feels like it's over. We want to thank those who joined us in Discord. We've got Christina popped up, and Dan from the Retrospect YouTube channel has popped up. If you've missed the whole episode, guys, that's okay. This episode that we recorded today will be out on the podcast feed in a week. But before we close, Rocky trivia answers. I'm guessing I got 2 out of 5. This is the worst week ever. Okay.
I tell you what they told me in university when you're on the bell curve.
What's
you're
that?
Essentially competing against other students. Not your grade is based on how you do relative to your peers, not the course itself. Is you don't have to outrun the lion. You just have to outrun the other guy running from the lion.
Fair enough.
That's true. That's a good point.
I think we all got this one wrong. Katie, why don't we start with you? What 2 teams did you pick? So what were the teams who were playing in the football game that was on when Rocky turned on the TV? And what was the score?
I picked the Eagles and San Francisco.
Yeah, me too.
And I guessed the score was 7-10, but no idea.
For the teams, I said Philly and New York. Oh, sorry, it was the Rams and Tampa.
So it wasn't even a Philly team. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What round did Rocky tell Mickey that Apollo broke his nose? I said 3rd round that Rocky got his nose broke. The first round again?
First fucking round again.
It was.
My nose is broken. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. He broke my nose again.
Is that right, though?
It's the first round, yeah.
Okay.
What is the name of the company that wants to produce a Rocky doll? Now, I said the Smart Deal or Smart Toy Company.
Smart Deal Toys.
Oh, it's Smart Deal.
I got it wrong. I knew it, but I couldn't think of it. I knew it was something toys, so I got that one wrong.
Of course, what did Rocky say after Adrian said, you read nice?
Thank you. You lie nice.
Perfect. And lastly, who said you'll go blind?
Adrian.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I said.
Okay.
Does it say Adrian or does it say Mickey?
No, it says Adrian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan, what was your score?
3.
3. Katie, what was yours?
3.
I'm catching up to you guys because I got 4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Still behind, though.
Where are we? Am I still ahead? Or because
you had 70 points. I'm doing from the beginning.
Are you doing like by season as well so we can have season winners, or are you just doing the whole series?
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, you have 23 this season. Katie has 24.
Oh.
And I have 24.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So
we're close.
Head to head.
I got that pretty good in the first season, I think, because my my overall score is quite low.
Oh.
I have 65 for the whole thing. Ryan has 68. Katie has 70.
I want to do a season by season victory and then the overall champion. So it's like a career, right? That's your wins, losses. You can almost do it, and then you're going to have an overall champion at the end. Okay.
Competition is stiff this season. Katie and I are tied, and Ryan's only 1 point behind, so...
We've been in a war, these three.
Yeah. We've seen so many Italians in one place.
You said that, not me, Katie.
Yeah.
You said that, not me.
If I ever go to Italy, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. All right, so before we close, I just want to thank everyone that joined us in Discord. Reminder that you can join my Patreon. It supports the Last of the Action Heroes Podcast Network feed. Also, you get to see the Tulsa King reactions on that as well. Season finale hasn't been uploaded yet, but it will be probably by the time this is live on iTunes. Yeah, you can watch us on YouTube as well. Send us an email. We need more emails. Patrick had a very big, juicy one, so that was a lot of fun to talk about. Remember, we're all friends in the Rocky community. I want to make that clear. We're not trying to start any drama. That's why we kept names out of it. I just want to say that everyone should be able to enjoy whatever fandom they're a part of in any way that they want to, as long as that doesn't affect other people's fandom. As long as you're not toxic to people, but you can certainly have different opinions. That's what makes...
Be kind.
Be
right?
kind.
Just be kind.
Have different opinions, but don't tell people how to have their opinions. I don't like being told how to think. That's me personally.
There is a saying, opinions are like rectal cavities. Everybody has them.
I love that you self-censored yourself in such an eloquent way.
I don't know if I made this one up myself. I think I did, but opinions are like noses. Everyone just picks their own.
Oh, I've not actually heard that one.
Thank you. Okay, with that, the episode is over.
I didn't hear no bell.
I just want to say one thing to my wife and home. You ain't